For the longest time, I believed taking a multivitamin every morning was one of the smartest habits anyone could have. It felt like the simplest way to protect your health. One little pill that promised energy, immunity, longevity. You'd take it with your morning coffee, feel responsible, even a bit proud of yourself. I did that too. For years, until I started to look deeper. And what I discovered changed the way I see those little pills forever. Because the truth about multivitamins isn't pretty. In fact, it's a little ugly. Let's be honest. Most of us take multivitamins because we think our diets aren't perfect. We're busy, we skip meals, we grab fast food sometimes. So a multivitamin feels like insurance. Some people take them for more energy. Others think it's just what you do as you get older, like brushing your teeth or checking your blood pressure. But the science behind these pills isn't nearly as strong as the marketing makes it sound. And that's where this story begins. The idea of multivitamins came about nearly a century ago, when doctors realized vitamin deficiencies caused diseases like scurvy, rickets, and anemia. Back then, it was a revelation. If lacking vitamins makes you sick, then surely taking extra makes you stronger. It seemed logical. But modern science has shown that the human body isn't that simple. You can't trick nature with synthetic pills. Real nutrients from real food behave very differently once they enter your body. When you eat an orange, you don't just get vitamin C, you get fiber, antioxidants, natural enzymes, all working together to help your body actually use that vitamin. A multivitamin, on the other hand, is like an orange-flavored candy. It looks the part, smells the part, but your body knows it's not the same thing. I've seen this countless times in my practice. Patients come in proudly showing me their bottles of complete multivitamins, thinking they're doing everything right. But when we look at their blood work, it tells a different story. One man in his 60s had been taking a popular brand for years, yet he was low in vitamin D and dangerously high in iron. His liver enzymes were elevated and he couldn't figure out why. The answer was right in his daily routine, that little pill. You see, most men over 50 don't need extra iron, but many multivitamins still include it. Over time, too much iron can harm the liver, the heart, and increase inflammation throughout the body. The sad part is, he thought he was protecting himself. He was actually making things worse. The problem doesn't end there. Even the nutrients that look fine on the label may not actually reach your bloodstream. Many cheap multivitamins use low-quality forms that your body barely absorbs. Magnesium oxide, for example, is one of the most common forms of magnesium used in supplements, yet less than 10% of it is absorbed. So when the label says you're getting your full daily dose, the truth is, you're not. It's like paying for a full tank of gas, but only getting a splash. And then there's the issue of megadoses. Many multivitamins contain several times the daily recommended amount of certain vitamins. People assume more is better, but it's not. Too much vitamin A can lead to headaches, fatigue, and even liver damage. Too much vitamin E has been linked to higher risks of prostate cancer. And excess vitamin B6 taken daily for years can actually cause nerve damage, leaving you with tingling or burning sensations in your hands and feet. It's a cruel irony. The same pill that's supposed to help you could be silently hurting you a few years back. A major study, published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, followed tens of thousands of women over several years. The researchers expected to see benefits: longer life, fewer diseases, stronger hearts. But what they found was the opposite. The women who took multivitamins didn't live longer. They didn't have fewer heart attacks or less cancer. In some cases, they actually had slightly higher mortality rates. It was a wake-up call for the medical community and for me. Now, that doesn't mean vitamins themselves are useless. Far from it. But it means we need to rethink what we expect from those pills. Your body doesn't run on vitamins alone. It runs on balance, on real food, hydration, movement, sunlight, and rest. The healthiest people I've treated over the years aren't the ones with shelves full of supplements. They're the ones who cook their own meals, spend time outdoors, sleep well, keep a calm mind. Still, I know that many people over 50 do have nutrient gaps. Our digestion changes. Our ability to absorb nutrients decreases. But that doesn't mean we all need a one-size-fits-all pill. What we need is targeted support, the right nutrient at the right time for the right person. If you live in a cloudy region, vitamin D3 might make sense. If you don't eat seafood, omega-3 South could be useful. If you're vegan, B12 is essential. And if your bones are weakening, calcium with vitamin K2 and D3 can help. It's about precision, not piling on more pills. The supplement industry doesn't want you to think that way. Confusion is profitable. The more uncertain you feel, the more likely you are to buy that complete multivitamin bottle that claims to do it all. But your health isn't something to gamble with. It's not about throwing darts in the dark. It's about knowing what your body truly needs. So what should you do instead? Start with the basics. Don't treat vitamins as magic bullets. They're tools, not miracles. If you're not eating real food, if you're not sleeping well, if you're dehydrated or constantly stressed, no supplement can fix that. But if you start building a solid foundation, eating colorful vegetables, drinking enough water, getting 15 minutes of sun, moving your body, you'll notice real change. Once you do that, you can add supplements strategically, based on real needs confirmed by tests or symptoms. That's how healing starts, with awareness, not assumption. I often tell my patients not to throw away their multivitamins right away. Just stop relying on them as a crutch. Use this as a chance to learn what your body is really missing. I had a patient who complained of fatigue, brain fog, and thinning hair. She was faithful with her multivitamin, but when we tested her, she was low in B12 and zinc. The problem wasn't that she wasn't taking enough. It was that her multivitamin used forms her body couldn't absorb. Once we switched her to better quality, methylated B12 and a small zinc supplement, plus improving her diet, the results were amazing. Within weeks, she felt sharper, lighter, more alive. That's what happens when you give your body what it actually needs, not what a label promises. What most people don't realize is that nutrients interact with each other in complex ways. Too much of one can block another. Excess zinc can deplete copper. Too much calcium can interfere with magnesium. Real food has these nutrients perfectly balanced, like an orchestra playing in harmony. Pills often throw the music off key. That's why nature will always outsmart the lab. Your body evolved to eat food, not formulas. So maybe the real question isn't which multivitamin should I take, but how can I nourish myself naturally again? Once you start seeing food as medicine, as a living source of energy and healing, everything changes. You stop outsourcing your health to pills. You start taking responsibility for it. One meal, one walk, one breath at a time. I've watched hundreds of people transform their lives by simplifying. They stopped chasing the next supplement trend and went back to basics: whole foods. Hydration, rest, movement, sunlight, and gratitude. And when they did, their energy came back. Their skin cleared. Their mind sharpened. Their blood pressure dropped. Their lives got brighter. Sometimes healing isn't about adding more. It's about removing what's in the way. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 30 days, skip your multivitamin. Instead, focus on your plate. Eat something colorful, something alive. Step outside and feel the sun. Drink a full glass of water every morning. Go for a short walk. Then notice how your body responds. I've seen people do this, and they're shocked at how much better they feel, not because of a pill, but because their body finally gets what it was craving all along. Real nourishment. If after a month you still feel low energy or off balance, that's okay. That's when you can get curious. Maybe run a blood test, see what's missing, and supplement with purpose. No more guessing. No more hoping. Just knowing. Because when you know what your body needs, you don't need marketing promises anymore. That's the real truth about multivitamins. They're not evil. They were created with good intentions, but over time they became misunderstood. They turned into a shortcut, a habit, even an excuse, a way to avoid the real work of caring for ourselves. But deep down, we all know health doesn't come from a bottle. It comes from connection to our food, our bodies, and the natural world around us. So tonight, when you look at that little pill on your counter, ask yourself if it's really giving you what you think it is. And tomorrow morning, instead of swallowing it out of routine, Take a walk outside, eat something fresh. Breathe deeply, and remind yourself that your body was never designed to depend on synthetic pills. It was designed to thrive on life itself. That's the ugly truth about multivitamins, and the beautiful truth about you.